Oh, I worked for a year at for the Harold's Club, the chain, the Mizell, the Californian, the Floridian. I worked my way up from being a counter waitress to a hostess, and I was moved around from one store to another because I was pretty good. But I met this wonderful bartender again, and got married. Bought a house in Massapequa, and that was trouble for me because this man had never been married. He had lived with his mother, and his mother did strange things like ironing sheets and ironing underwear. She kept a kosher kitchen. And I had no idea how to do these things. I had never learned to clean house because I always lived in places where if you wanted something done, you call someone to do it for you. So I was in trouble. But I'm a quick learner. I got a good vacuum cleaner and lots of sponges, and I learned to clean house. I learned to take care of the yard. I learned to, again, do everything to fit in so that our house looked just like the neighbors' houses. And I worked 5 at night to 5 in the morning in a diner, and I drank around the clock. So did he. I mean, we were drinking buddies. We liked the same things and the same atmosphere, same brand of scotch. And we got along okay. We had some bad times. We used to keep one shelf of the refrigerator stocked with beer, because when you wake up in the morning and your mouth is full of cotton and you can't talk because your throat's so dry, you got to have a beer. It's the only thing really that works when you're addicted. And I learned, I was drinking, he said I was drinking more than my share, which I was. And I had started, when I took the beer out, I'd put the can back in the back, empty, but upside down, so he wouldn't know it was empty. And the first morning that he went for his morning beer and found a whole shelf full of empty beer cans, I got my first real beating. And I think I deserved it. But, you know, little things like that happened. And he wouldn't come home for a couple of days at a time. I wouldn't come home for a couple of days at a time because I'd go into a blackout. I'd call the kids and say, I'll be home in just a little while, you know, make dinner. And I might call them hours later or the next day and tell them, oh, I'm still hung up with this party that I'm working. I'll be home in a little while. My kids by that time were 11 and 13. They were teenagers. And, you know, a lot of little things happened. But one night I was watching television and this program came on, Wine and Roses came on Playhouse 90. And I don't remember. I know that I was sitting and we had one of the very first recliner chairs when they were first invented. And the dogs had chewed the leather off the arms so that it was flat wood shelves, which is very convenient. And my daughter would set a beer on one and she'd set a plate of frozen fish sticks, usually on the other. And she'd get me situated there and then she could go to bed. I wouldn't move. But this program came on and something, I have no idea what it was, but something about it. I got up, went in the kitchen and called, looked up Alcoholics Anonymous in the phone book and made the phone call.
Do you remember what the show was?
Wine and Roses.
The movie?
No, long before the movie was made. It was on Playhouse 90. I called AA out of the phone book and I asked the guy, how do you know if you're an alcoholic? And he asked me, how much I drank. And I was honest. I told him I drank a 6-pack of beer in the morning, a 5th of scotch during the day, and a 6-pack at night. And I tried never to drink any more than that. And he said, I can't say you're an alcoholic, but I'd say you got a pretty damn good start.